All right, guys, welcome to Let's Get Cultured. We're doing some other YouTube reactions as well throughout the day. This first video we're watching is a Let's Get Cultured video, stopping ocean plastic pollution at its source. This one's from Wild Hope, excuse me. And I was curious about it, so we're gonna watch at least part of this video. Not sure if we'll tackle the whole thing, but let me know if there's any problems with the video or anything in chat, if you would. Let's jump in.
When I was 16 years old, I went diving and I was hoping to see all these beautiful reefs and fish. I looked around me and I just saw more plastic bags than fish. And this was so shocking and disappointed that I asked myself the question, why can't we just clean this up?
It's a lot of shit.
Plastic pollution is one of the largest threats our oceans face today. It's very important that we have the belief that we can do this.
I wonder how many fish they catch doing that. You'd think they'd catch some fish in there as well. But it needs to be done somehow, you know?
Soon after my scuba diving experience, I had to do a science paper back in high school, and I decided to study the plastic pollution and how I could potentially clean this up. And the original idea was to have a very long floating barrier in the middle of the ocean attached to the seabed that would use the natural current of the ocean to collect the plastic.
In 2013, that
Do you guys prefer with subtitles or without?
simple sounding concept led Boy
And it's just depressing seeing how much shit gets hauled out of the ocean.
and Slat to launch the largest effort to date to remove plastic from the world's oceans.
That initial idea, it did spark the imagination of many people around the world, which then allowed us to raise the money and build the first team to start the ocean cleanup.
The scale of the problem demanded the scale of the mission. It's estimated that up to 14 million tons of
14 million tons every year? Dude, humans are just straight fucking pigs.
plastic end up in the world's oceans every year. So Boyan jumped into the deep end, crowdfunding over $2 million and targeting an area called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. It's the largest concentration of plastic trash on the planet. 87,000 tons floating just beneath the surface.
87,000 tons floating just beneath the surface. So we have essential like islands of trash gathered. I didn't know that.
And there are 4 others like it across the world's oceans.
That's really depressing.
This plastic is super persistent. It stays in the environment for potentially hundreds of years.
Yeah.
The debris mainly floats in the first several meters of the water column. Each year it kills thousands of seabirds, turtles, whales, and other marine mammals. Some get tangled in it.
Damn.
Others think it's food. The plastic disrupts digestion and wreaks havoc on their organs. Humans are affected too.
Yeah, because then your food supplies are, run short as well. You're basically screwing yourself over. Besides that looking just like utter filth.
This plastic is breaking down into smaller and smaller pieces, which then gets into the food chain, which includes the 3 billion people that rely on seafood as their primary source of protein.
Microplastics build up with each step up the food chain, getting into the tissue of the seafood we eat. And they're also found in things like tap water, beer, and salt. The chemicals can
We can't do anything right. Anything. Holy shit.
damage the endocrine system and lead to reproductive, immune, and
Oh, wait. And reproductive. I actually read somewhere that, like, fertility rates around the world were kind of way down. I wonder if that has something to do with it. I'm sure there's a lot of shit to do with it. But
neurological disorders for both
and who even knows if that's true? I didn't fact check it.
humans and wildlife.
I didn't say shit like that.
There are people out there that want to see the ocean to be cleaned as much as we want to see the ocean to be clean. You know, the support we've received from our funders, social media followers, governments, companies has been really quite humbling, and you know, this gives me a lot of hope.
Still, it took years of prototyping to get to a design they were happy with.
We had spent years with systems that didn't work, that broke, that didn't collect plastic.
Finally, in 2021, they emerged with a 2-vessel
Let's see it.
system that pulled a floating boom carrying a permeable skirt.
Okay.
When the skirt fills, the trash is hauled in and taken to shore for recycling.
For me, the turning point was when I woke up one morning and I opened my phone. Then I saw this photograph of this mountain of plastic on the deck of our ship. That was truly the moment that I knew, okay, this can be done.
Honorable, for sure. Someone's got to do this shit. Laundry baskets, trash cans, all kinds of shit in there. Holy crap.
And since then, we made it 3 times bigger, which
I'm just curious about if it catches fish accidentally, if that's like an issue, or if it's pretty, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not too much of an issue with the way it's, they should be able to swim underneath if needed to, which is pretty smart.
allows us to now clean up an area the size of a football field every 5 seconds.
Oh, that's huge. Yeah, we got trash cans, we have water coolers, we got laundry baskets, crates, rope.
Until 2021, we had collected a total of about 7,000 kilos. So now that's an amount we're now collecting in 1.5 days from the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
Wow. That's fucking awesome.
The success has inspired a very ambitious target to remove 90% of floating ocean plastic by 20.
I was kind of worried that this would be a video where there's like no hope. You know what I mean? Like, not that there's no hope, but I was like, man, this might be a little bit of a depressing video for people watching at like 9:55 and hey! Sorry guys, my he's out of control right now.
2040.
What you gonna do?
That will require a fleet of these systems tackling the other garbage patches as well. But even that won't stop the problem of new plastic streaming into the ocean.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot wiser to prevent it from going into the ocean than to deal with the downstream consequences.
So
Yeah.
Boyan expanded his operations to target the key rivers that were polluting the sea.
Holy shit.
So this is all plastic.
Just 1,000 rivers spew about 80% of plastic trash into their oceans.
Globally, most of the plastic is actually managed properly, but a fraction of that does not get collected, especially in countries where there's more poverty, where there's no money for waste collection.
The ocean cleanup started with some of the most polluted rivers first. In Guatemala, Indonesia, Malaysia, the US,
Yeah.
and more recently, Jamaica. Communities along
Damn.
these rivers often face the greatest health risks from polluted water. So Boyan and his team partner with local organizations for guidance and impact. Here in Kingston, Jamaica's capital, the fishing community's health and livelihood are at stake.
For me, it is most important that we fix this problem.
Alicia Beaufort is the operations manager for Clean Harbors Jamaica. she's seen her vibrant country overwhelmed by discarded plastic waste.
Now, obviously, I see that I haven't seen anything quite this bad, but I've definitely seen some spots in the States where it's nasty. But when we were in the Bahamas, the last time I was there, this is probably 5 years ago, I was pretty sad to see a lot of the beaches had trash like that up on the shores. It's such a beautiful place, but I feel like the Caribbeans are kind of running into this. I know they just said Jamaica kind of got added to the list, but that's incredibly sad to see because it's so like naturally beautiful there.
We had this debris building up for over 60 years here in Jamaica and in Kingston specifically. When you eat fish, you have to be careful where it's coming from.
Oh, it got that bad.
The fishermen are struggling with all the plastics that are harming the environment that they work in. So they tend to go further out to sea just to find good food, just to find good fish, just to make a living.
Jamaica was once one of the highest per capita users of plastic bags, but in 2019, banned them.
Okay.
Alicia and others used that momentum
That's a move in the right direction.
to organize countrywide beach cleanups and jumped at the opportunity to partner with Boyan's team.
So let us see how much the ocean cleanup came to Jamaica, and they were able to start what we now call the Kingston Harbor Cleanup Project.
Okay.
We plan to,
get it.
first of all, remove all of the garbage that has been built up there over the years.
It's a big job. About 2,000 truckloads of plastic waste end up in Jamaica's waterways every year.
Most of our waterways are what we call concrete man-made gullies. These gullies basically allow for water runoff during rain time, and the water is taken straight to the ocean.
Okay.
Using knowledge gleaned from other river cleanups, they prepare for the challenge.
It would be dynamic, like an actual valve. Jamaica is quite a unique project because rather than only tackling a single river, we're actually tackling the entire city of Kingston.
You know, it says stopping ocean plastic pollution at its source, and so far this has been a great video, but at some point you kind of got to look at the producers as well, like those big, you saw how many freaking Pepsi bottles and stuff there was as well, like, so there, we're just going to keep producing all this plastic, which is going to end up in the ocean, which is causing us to send out cleanup crews like this, whereas we could just nip it in the ass before it even ever gets to that point by going after producers. I feel like, I don't know. And then you're going to have people crying about jobs and shit, probably. Oh, that's our jobs. Everybody knows the economy is more important than the actual Earth.
We're going to throw in the first barrier, and then we adapt from there.
Here, they're opting for a system called an interceptor barrier.
This was the first time that we had been tackling the type of river that we see in Jamaica.
Save the turtle.
These are very shallow, very narrow.
The interceptor barrier works like the ocean system, except that its permeable nets stay in place to catch debris. When it rains, the plastic will flow quickly downstream into the nets. The team goes upstream to see how much to expect.
As soon as the rain comes and washes down any debris, all floating debris gets trapped by the interceptor barrier.
Okay. And then you can drag it in.
A heavy rainstorm provides a welcome
That almost looked like Nasu. What up, Hayden?
chance to test the system
We're
before
in the middle of Let's Get Cultured if you're just joining. And we're watching a stopping ocean plastic pollution at its source.
they expand it to other gullies.
Pretty good so far.
This is amazing, you know, we're getting to see a first-hand view of what happens when the rains come down. Seeing a nice flow, the currents coming down, you know, we can see all the bottles and the plastics.
The ocean cleanup also
Love the Caribbean accents. Love Caribbean accents.
monitors for any wildlife that might get caught in the nets.
It's effective, and we're really happy for it. And I think going forward, we can do more.
When the storm subsides, the team collects the trash and brings it ashore.
We then go to the barrier itself with our specifically made machine called an interceptor tender.
Alicia's team makes multiple trips to offload the debris.
Plastics are separated, washed, and then packaged for our recycling partners. And everything that cannot be recycled is then placed into our dumpster for the landfill. We hire nearby persons who work at our site and work on our vessel, and they understand that the problem is not just theirs.
When I first got here, the gullies used to be black and green and mucky. But since I've been working here, you see it clearing up, little by little. We
The little steps, I like it.
cleaning up the ocean, making Jamaica better. So it smells better, the air is better, the fishes taste better.
It's not just about having a technology in a river. You need an entire consortium of partners around a river to make the project a success, the system around the system.
Richard? All right.
That's fair.
A few things.
Community a little bit too.
In Jamaica, that system is starting to work.
Oh, that's awesome.
Since the first interceptor went in, they've installed 6 more, and another 4 are on the way.
For the future, I see us cleaning the entire Jamaica. Just in Kingston, we've been asked by other parishes and other areas, when are you coming to visit? Because they see a positive change.
That's huge. That's pretty much what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take for sure.
The problem in Kingston has been really big, but with the ocean cleanup, we have this ray of hope,
Stepping up.
and we hope to just do it for the entire country.
Boyan is also looking beyond.
I think it's very important that the support is aimed at the places where we can have the most impact, in the countries where most plastic ends up in the ocean.
With their combined efforts in rivers and oceans, the ocean cleanup is actually doing just what their name suggests. To date, they've removed over 9,000 tons of trash,
That's awesome.
equivalent to about 10% of the plastic in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
Holy shit, that's just one garbage patch. 10% of one of the 4 garbage patches.
Not bad for an organization hatched from a high school assignment.
That's fair.
And while Boyan would like to see a day when reduced plastic use makes his efforts unnecessary, he's committed to keeping plastic out of the oceans until that day comes.
As I say, this is an honorable effort, and it's definitely making a difference, which is awesome. But it's going to have to, like, at some point, we'll have to probably ban the use of plastics in, like, production or something. People are going to drag their feet as long as possible with that. We all know how that goes. But we definitely need to do something about that pretty soon.
I think that in the not too distant future,
let's be
we
honest,
can
yesterday.
have cleaned the ocean, and we'll look back at today in disgust, thinking about how could we have allowed all that plastic to simply flow into the ocean uninterrupted for so long. Why didn't we do this earlier? I think we're truly just a matter of years from achieving that.
Okay. That's
Thanks for
awesome.
watching this episode. If you'd like to dive deeper into this story or learn how you can help protect
gonna drop the
biodiversity
link
near
in
you,
chat here, guys.
visit wildhope.tv. And come back on Mondays for more Wild Hope right here at PBS Nature on YouTube.
I dropped the link in chat, guys. If you would give that a like, that was awesome. It's cool to see for sure. Well, let me go back here. shout out to Nature on PBS. I like that. I like that story. It's pretty cool. I honestly, like, I was pretty ignorant to the fact of, I didn't know about the great, the freaking map, like on the map. Let's see if we can find that again. Right here. This is insane to me.
On the planet, 87,000 tons
Garbage patches in the ocean. I didn't know it was that bad already.
floating just beneath the surface. And there are 4 others like it across the world's oceans.
So you have 5 total giant garbage patch islands, essentially, floating around out there. Holy shit. Wow. And it's... Oh, wow. Yeah, that's wild. Well, again, guys, go give that video a like if you would. That was really good. We just gave it a like over here as well. It's good to learn something. Let's go ahead and move on to the next video.